Hello students, Gili here with another Excel video. The topic here is referencing. Referencing is this simple idea in Excel, which is that the result in a cell can depend on the results in other cells. Okay, so one cell refers to other cells. Simple as that. Let's start with the basic example. Here I have some numbers, 1379. Let's say that in this cell D5 that is now empty, I want to compute the result to be A5 plus something. Let's just add A5 plus 1. Okay, that's referencing because D5 refers to A5. As simple as that. But now, the main idea for this video is the following behavior of Excel. When you have a formula in a cell, such as this, if you copy paste it, it will automatically update depending of where you've copy pasted it. Okay, simple example. Let's say that I select this formula, this cell that has the formula, I mean. I copy it, so Control C, and then let's say that I paste it just one cell to the right. Okay, now I paste it, so Control V. You see the formula as updated in the sense that the cell that was here A5, because I pasted to the right, the column will update of 1 to the right, so the A5 has become B5. Okay, and so the result in this new cell E5 is still referencing, but it's a relative referencing because it's been updated when I copy pasted the formula. And so, and just to clarify this, if I had pasted, so the same formula, which is in D5, okay, I copy and paste it one down. Now it updates, but of course in a different manner. It updates of one row down, meaning that the formula that was A5 plus 1, now in this new cell D6 has been updated to be A6 plus 1 because it's updated of one row down. Okay, and in this case, A6 is 7, so of course 7 plus 1 is 8. Now, if you do not want this behavior, that when you copy and paste a cell, the formulas are updated, no problem. You can prevent Excel from updating the formula, but you need to do the following. You need to protect the cell by putting dollar signs here. So you put a dollar sign in front of the column, in this case A. It means that the column will not be updated when you copy paste the formula. And likewise, so let's start with that actually. Okay, so let me delete everything. Let's just have dollar A5 plus 1. Now, if I copy paste this down, what's going to happen? It will update because only the column is prevented from updating. So this updated because I copy pasted down. The row is not protected from updating, so I still get my A6 plus 1 as opposed to A5 plus 1. But now if I copy paste it to the right, it will not update because again, this dollar prevents the column from updating. So the column here, A, is still A. Okay, so it hasn't updated. Okay, and now let's say that I copy pasted here. What's going to happen? Well, the row has been updated from 5 to 6, but the column has not been updated. Okay, let's see if I had done the opposite. Okay, let's see that if here I don't protect from update the column, but I do protect the row from updating, well then what's going to happen? If I paste to the right, the column is not prevented from updating, so it will update. But then if I paste to the down, the row here was protected, so it doesn't update. I still get my 2, meaning I still get the 1 that's here plus 1. Hopefully that's clear. And that's the main idea of this video. If you understand this, you understand pretty much everything I need to communicate today, but I just want to make a few more examples that are slightly more complicated, okay? Specifically here, you see I've hidden a few rows. I'm going to make them appear now to make a financial mathematic example. And this then ties back to the theory part of the unit. So unhide, okay, disappears. Let's make an example with accumulated values of payments made at regular time intervals. Specifically here, I want to find the accumulated value in a bank account of payments I make at the end of every year. And I want to find the balance in the account after 30 years. Okay, so now the first thing is in the first column of what is going to be a table here, I would like to have all the times at which the payments are made. So I would like to have 1, 2, 3, etc. Now I could, of course, type this 1, 2, 3 up to 30 because 30 is the term, the last payment in this problem. I could keep going and write all of that, but it's not very efficient. What I can do is well, two things, I suppose. The first one is that Excel recognizes some patterns. So if I select this 1, 2, Excel is going to recognize the pattern as +1. So if I, with my mouse, drag this, okay, it's gonna recognize that I should go up to up to here, and here I had placed total, but it's not in the right spot, so I'm gonna just place the total over here. Okay. Now, that's fine, but I still would prefer to use referencing to do this. Meaning, here the 2 can be created simply by having the 1 plus 1. Okay, and then if I copy the cell and paste it down, I have not protected the cell A15 from updating, so it will update. And then if I paste it again, okay, it's going to update again. That's fine. But now dragging with the mouse again, you can drag, has exactly the same effect as copy pasting the cell. So if I take the cell, drag it down, it's like copy pasting. In this case, A19, I copy pasted there. This is not protected from updating, so it does update, and so on. And if I drag, I can drag this to just one chunk. Okay, so it's quicker. Okay, and I drag it to the bottom. The last one would be 30, so I stop here. Okay, that's what I want. First payment happens at time 1, second payment happens at time 2, and so on. Now, I'm making payments in this bank account of whatever amounts. For the sake of the example, let's just say that I put in my bank account 5,000 every time. Now, if I put 5,000 every year, again, same thing. I could just drag this to the bottom. Okay, it's going to update automatically. But if I want to if I prefer to do this with referencing, I can just say, well, the amount is always the same. So what's in B16 will just be the same as what is in B15. Okay, and again, if I drag, because there's no formula here, it's just going to update. Okay, every single time I go down, it's going to update of 1 down and so on. I get 5,000 everywhere. And then what I want in this column, what I want is accumulation of those payments of at the end of 30 years. Meaning this one is made at time 1. It accumulates of 29 years, of course, of compound interest. So at the end, this 5,000 will be much more because it accumulates of 29 periods. The formula for the accumulation factor is then 1 plus I being the interest rate here, effective per period, to the power of however many years of accumulation I have. The general formula would be n minus t. Okay, so let's do that. The accumulation factor would be 1 plus I. Now, I here is the interest rate. Like it's in its own designated cell, B11. So let me just use B11 for now without putting any dollar signs. Okay. Now to the power of what? Well, to the power of bracket n, which is 30 here, minus the specific time at which the first payment is made, which is this. Now this will work. It's going to give me the accumulation factor for this specific payments. But I haven't protected anything from updating. So if I drag this down, should it work? No, it won't work. I get a 0 because having dragged everything down 1, the interest rate has dragged to the value 30. That's obviously not what I want. And the term of 30 has dragged to the 1 down to be empty. So then that's why I get a 0 here. So what I need to do is protect some cells from updating. In this case, the interest rate B11, I'm going to put $$ here. So I protect this cell from updating whenever a formula is, that uses this, well, whenever the formula is copy pasted or dragged. And same thing with the term. So the term, I'm going to protect it. Okay. And I believe that's it because the A15 is the time. I do want the time to update. Okay, because the payment made at time 2, I want the formula to update to be a 2 instead of a 1. Okay, with this, it should work. I drag down. And yes, it seems to have worked in the sense that the accumulation factor for a payment made later should be slightly smaller, of course, because it accumulates of a shorter amount of time and so on. Sanity check, this last one is made exactly at time 30. So it's not accumulating of anything. So it's just 1. Okay, the 5,000 made at time 30 is, of course, still 5,000 at time 30. It has not accumulated more with interest. Okay, and now I'm almost done. I'm doing now is simply finding the accumulated value. So this is an accumulation factor. If I multiply it here, the factor times the 5,000, okay, I get what I want. The actual value of this 5,000 accumulated of a factor 5.42. So this is what I have. Well, the 5,000 made at payment made at time one will have accumulated to 27,000 and so on. If I drag this to the bottom, it's going to work. Now, just to practice, the dollar thing that I can put here, I could put some dollars here to protect the row from to protect the column from updating, because I want only the row to update. So what I mean by that is put a dollar here and put a dollar here. It's still going to work because I drag it down, okay? But the row, the 16 here, has been updated because I haven't protected the row from updating. Okay, but now the result, if I were to drag this formula down, this formula to the right here, would be that I get exactly the same thing, because this 5,000 you see, and this 5.42, the column was updated. So this what I had a C here and a B here. Okay, this has been protected. So sorry, here I had a C and a B. Here in E15, I still have a C and a B. Okay. This is just an additional example of the behavior of putting a dollar in front of the column. Okay, but then for this example, I just finish up by dragging everything, and I get hopefully the accumulation of every single payment. Now, this, I put this before, it's just the sum of all of those. And so it gives me exactly how much I have in my bank account at the end of the 30 years, having made those payments every single year. Now, just by the way, as a side note, this number, you could have obtained it with the formula. Okay, it's a formula we've seen in the lecture slides. The accumulated value for payments of made at the end of every year is this formula. It's 1 plus interest rate. Okay, interest rate is over there, 6%. Okay, to the power of the term. Okay, now this needs to be there's a -1 as well, and then divided by the interest rate. Okay, that's the symbol S little n with the corner thing in the lecture slides. Okay, the accumulated value of payments of 1 made at the end of every period for n period. But now every one of those is 5,000, which I can then multiply by 5,000 here. Okay, and I should get exactly the same amount. Okay, the formatting is incorrect, but yes, we haven't made any mistakes. Financial mathematics seem to work. Okay, we get the same amount with the manual addition or with the, let's say, more compact formula. Okay, which is good. Okay, so I believe that's it for this. Now, just by the way, you have your table set up. If you want to have fun, you can change those amounts. They're all 5,000. Let's say that every year I'm able to negotiate with my boss a salary increase, so I can save more money for my retirement. Let's say that every year I'm able to put 1,000 more. Okay, what happens then? Well, I start at 5,000, but in the second year I able to save the same thing, but now plus 1,000. And every single year I save 1,000 more. So in the third year I want to have 7,000. That's no problem. I just drag this. So this 6,000 is updated to 7,000. The 7,000 is updated to 8,000, and so on. I drag this to the bottom. Of course, at the end I'm gonna have way more money saved in my bank account. Okay. Yes, this has been okay. This formula is of course now incorrect. There's another formula, but I'm not gonna bother to implement it here. But yes, I now have more than $1 million, and so I can enjoy a comfortable retirement in Bali. Okay, that's good. Now, one last example to try to make clear those ideas of referencing either the row or the column. Again, I'm going to unhide those columns here where I've hidden some stuff. Unhide. And here, I don't know what's okay, this, I don't want it. I don't know. I think I was playing with some stuff before. Okay, let's say I want a multiplication table. So we can take this last example as an exercise for you. Think about how would you create a multiplication table as quickly as you can by dragging or copying a formula. What I mean by multiplication table is simply this. Here, I would have to have the result 1 times 1, and here I would have to have the result 7 times 5, and so on. This should be 9 times 9. Okay, by using referencing either absolute or relative. Okay, absolute referencing just means that it refers to a cell that has been prevented from updating. Okay, so it doesn't update when you copy paste or drag. How would you do this? Take a second to think about it. Okay, now my way of doing this would be, let's start by something simple. Here I want 1 times 1. So let's use those ones that are written there. Okay, so I get 1 times 1 is what I want. But now I want to be able to drag this formula and get what I want, get 9 times 1 here. But it doesn't work, of course, because I haven't protected things from updating. So here, this one, when I drag, okay, the one in blue, I don't want it to update. So I want the column, okay, the column G in this case to be fixed. Okay, so if I prevent G from updating, that should work. I should be able to drag this and get 2, 3, 4, and yes, because this 9 is obtained by having the 1 times the 9. And you see, of course, this 9, I did want it to update. So that's the tricky part. Some things I want to update, some things I don't want to update. Okay, and same thing. Now, if I were to drag this down, it's not going to work. I'm going to get again the same problem that here this 6 is not what I want, because yes, the 3 is what I want. Okay, G8 times, but then I would like it to be multiplied by H5, not H7. But of course, I haven't prevented the row from updating, so it will update. But I can solve the problem by here protecting not the column, but the row from updating. So if I put $1 here, okay, and again, now I drag this formula down, I win. Okay, I win. It's exactly what I want. And lastly, now, in case this wasn't clear, okay, again, I'm going to update this formula simply by having, for the first one, the column protected, but not the row, and for the second one to have the row only protected. Okay, so now all those have been updated. Again, there's $1 in front here, but there's $1 in front here. What I can do is just select all of them and one shot update everything. Okay, now I drag all of this to the bottom, and ta-da, I get the right result. You can double check any random cell. This 27, yes, should be 9 times 3. This one should be 4 times 7. I get 28. And voila, I've achieved what I wanted. I've done all the examples I wanted to do. And this video is long enough as it is, so I think I'll stop here. Thanks for listening. I hope to catch you in the next video. So bye-bye, everybody.